In short, sublimation releases tension. For example, it is a substitute reaction, which may be classified as compensation. The second one is this withdrawal. The primary objective of withdrawal is to remove oneself from distressing situation. For example, a subordinate tries to avoid the boss is an example of withdrawal. Then if we talk about the regression, it is the mechanism whereby the individual return to an earlier and less mature level of adaptation. It is a reversion of progressive sequence of development and a return to primitive form of personality. The example of regression is, suppose a young married woman who has difficulties with her husband may return to the security of her parents' home. Then another technique is daydreaming. Daydreaming allows a person to achieve in infancy what he cannot achieve in a reality. For example, it is an adjust mechanism which reduces anxiety for some time. Then the next one is identification. The attempt of an individual to identify himself with another successful individual as a desirable situation is referred as identification. For example, adolescents identify themselves with some political leaders, youth leaders, actors, and some actresses and attempt to acquire their characteristics. The next one is projection. Attributing to and observing in others one's own impulses and traits is called projection. For example, a student fails and blames to the teacher or evaluator to project himself. The next one is repression. It is an attempt by the individual to push into the unconscious those experiences and thoughts which are painful to contemplate. We try to forget what makes us feel inferior, ashamed, guilty, and anxious. Repression, the example of repression is repressions may find expression in the form of displacement. The next one is rationalization. Rationalization has been defined as a mechanism by which the individual justifies his beliefs and action by giving reasons other than those which activated or motivated him. The window dressing of motives and actions is called rationalization. For example, a student who comes late in the class makes excuse that there was a traffic jam. Why I have chosen this topic for this international workshop? The educational implications and the applicability of this topic is that we as teachers have to identify problems of children and the problems and we have to identify the maladjusted children. The applicability of this adjust mechanism is that we have to reinforce the isolated children. The application of this topic is that we have to reform the inferior children. The application of this topic is that we have to transform aggression into another capabilities. The application of this topic is that we have to encourage health development of self and also as well as others. The application of this topic is that we have to train the willpower of children. The application of this topic is that we have to refurbish the skills of counseling. The application of this topic is that we have to identify the children who have problems and we have to refer them to the counselors. Because it was the reason why I have chosen this topic. It was the reason because as parents we should understand how we can make a right adjustment of our children, how our children should manage themselves, how they will adjust in the school, how they will adjust themselves in the society, how they will adjust themselves in every situation. That is as parents, because I'm very thankful to our forum that they have provided me